Hi everyone, welcome to the Lights Too Bright podcast. Something a little bit different today, so I apologise if the sound isn't great. I'm going to do the Three Peaks Challenge, which is a UK challenge of doing the three highest mountains. And today I'm doing a kind of training walk, and one of my oldest and closest friends from university is joining me, who also happens to be an optometrist. So what we're going to do in this episode is I'm going to be asking questions as we hit the hills. So here we go. Like I said, I apologise if the sound isn't great. For those of you who are not liking, following, and more importantly sharing, please do. Here we go. So here we are. We're at the beginning. We're at Chase End Hill, and a bit of a steep climb to go. When we get to the top of this first hill, I'm going to hit up my guest with her first question. So say hello, Prisha.
Hello.
And here we go. See you guys at the top of Hill 1. Here we are, top of Summit 1. Let me show you the view. Didn't take us too long, a bit more knackered than I thought I'd be, which is probably not the best thing. So I'm going to get Prish, she can hold the camera, and I'm going to give her the mic once I've found the question, which is in another pocket, because I've got ChatGPT to write the questions for me, because I am lazy. And it did such a good job. So here we go. Right, we're at the top of the first hill. What first pulled you into optometry, eye care? Was it a deliberate choice or a happy accident?
Definitely a deliberate choice. I was just wanting to be a rebel with my family. Everybody's accountants or, I don't know, finance, etc. And I thought I want to do something different and didn't want to be a doctor, didn't want to be a pharmacist. That was boring. And the fascination of learning something new, something I didn't know about or nobody knew about. That's what drew me into eyes and optometry.
Nice one. Awesome. Right. We are now going to head off to Hill 2 and question 2. So here we are, top of the second hill. We think we might have missed one somewhere, but it's okay. So second question for Prish. So Prisha, what do you do now work-wise? And in terms of once you graduate from uni, is this kind of the career path you were expecting?
So thank you. So I'm working at Boots Opticians. That's where I've been pretty much most of my career. Did my pre-reg there, worked there, had a blip for 6 months because we went travelling and then went straight back. Is this where I wanted to be? No. But life has curveballs and you have to dodge those curveballs. But I wouldn't change a single moment of it. And where I am now, I'm very happy. I do 3 days a week, clinical work, sight testing, contact lenses, and I have the best patients, so I can't ask for any more.
Nice one. Thank you. On to the next peak, which I hope is 3. Fingers crossed. We are top of a peak, third one, we think, and we're ready for question 3. Huffing and puffing, probably appropriate question at this point. So, Prish, at this point, quick question. What was the first, this is harder than I think, moment in practice for you?
In practice? I think it was when I was in Windsor during my pre-reg when I found it really difficult because the support I had was limited. So, yeah, I think that was my hardest point.
Right, we're atop of a peak somewhere. I mean, the views are absolutely stunning, and we've just stopped to get a sandwich, or not a sandwich, just have a break and just refresh. I think I need to go to the loo. This could be problematic. Anyway, I think I've drank too much water. Need to sweat more. Anyway, another question for Prish. Was there any point career-wise where you kind of had a bit of a wobble and thought, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm done with this. Go on.
Absolutely. Plenty of those, especially on those bad days when you have clinics that run late, patients that are irate, people not doing what they're supposed to do in your team. But you go home, sleep, and you go again.
Another hill, another peak. It's I'm feeling a bit fresh, so I've had to put the snood thing on to keep my ears warm. Prish, another question for you, and that's going to be, outside of clinical skills, what would you say are really useful tools in practice?
Communication, networking, and teaching. I think the 3 of them have helped me become who I am. And I definitely think I have become more of a people person than ever was when I was at uni.
Yeah, she was pretty grumpy at uni. Mehul will attest to that.
I had Ken.
Another hill, another peak. I don't know if you can see behind us. That's where we started, and that's where we're going. Over there, still got a bit left. So, another question for Prish. Here we are, about 3 hours in, actually. Not 3 hours in. Yeah, no, three and a half hours in. Right, Prish, what do you do to keep yourself interested? How do you stop yourself from getting bored?
That's a really good question. I challenge myself. I try to learn new things. I try to delve into things a bit deeper that I'm not sure of. And the most important thing I love doing is going to the local LOC events to bounce off other optoms, get energy from them. Pretty much, just keeping up with the network.
Here we are, another false dawn. Thought I was at the top. Got to the top of this bad boy and got that to do still. So it's all right, we're enjoying it. Weather's held out, been really, really lucky. And so I've got to think up of another question. So here we go. So Prish, I've known you for years and I know, things have not necessarily been straightforward, but something you've not mentioned that I thought was quite interesting was when you did the other business, and I'll let you describe what it was. And I'm just curious, why you did that, what you learned from that, because at the time you didn't stop being an optom, you continued being an optom. So, what did you do? Why did you do it? And were there any lessons you learned from that you could take back into clinic?
So yes, it was Gymboree, learn through play, 0 to 5-year-olds. We did gym classes, music classes, art classes. I guess it stemmed from my love of children. And what you probably don't know is when I was doing my A-levels, actually, yes, or when I was at school, I actually worked in a nursery because I just loved kids. It was a little part-time job in the summer. And I'd always wanted to do something with children. And then, the Gymboree thing came up. I took my children to Gymboree and it sort of the seed planted from there and looked into it. There's a franchise, with Mum, with her cancer and her passing away. The one thing she said to me on her hospital bed was, you've been going on and on about this for many years, just do it. And that's what motivated me to do it. And it was amazing, amazing 5 years of my life, working with children, taking my own baby. We opened literally the week after Arian was born. So he was coming into work with me, teaching children to develop, I think, was the most lifelong experience for me, and helping mothers, and fathers, because newborn babies, they're not easy. And we had a whole program to navigate, help them through their difficulties, their good times, their bad times, their happy times. We threw parties. And what I learned from that is being able to connect with people. You're sitting in a room in your clinic, you are one-to-one with people. They will come in happy, moody, grumpy, angry, whatever it might be. You have a split 2 minutes to be able to turn that mood around and connect with them. And I think Gymboree gave that to me.
Here we are, top of the hill. Finally made it. We still got a little bit left to go, but it's predominantly downhill now. But if you can see the view, absolutely stunning. Just right at the top. We've done it. Well done to us. So I'm going to just wait for Prish to come back. She's making friends with other people, as she tends to do. And then I think we'll finish with the last question, which, as you know, is if you were going to give some advice to a new professional, what would you do? What would you say even? So I'll just wait for her to finish making buddies and then I'll get her to give her answer. But we're here. We did it. I'm pooped. Been a good day. Right, she's back from making friends and taking photos of everyone. So here we go. So last question, Prish. Top of the hill, and I just can't be bothered carrying the camera anymore. So if you had to give one piece of advice to a new professional, career-wise, what would it be? What would it be?
Stay calm, enjoy it, don't panic.
Nice.
That's it.
Excellent. Thank you guys for joining us on this Bits and Pieces episode. A little bit different. I hope you've enjoyed it. And like I said earlier, do please follow, share and like, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.